Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the what the fuck is this show called?
The Point Spread.
The Point Spread on fantasypoints.com. My name's Joe Dolan. His name's Tom Brolley. Ben Kukanis is behind the glass with the guns out. But
we're glistening this afternoon here.
I'm sorry, guys. We're running a little late. Tom's computer shit the bed. It doesn't matter anyway, Tom, because the dozens and dozens of Dolan and Brolley fans all watch this on demand anyway, or listen to it on demand anyway. And now I put the sound on my computer. But it's good to be with you, Tom. Let's just throw this caveat out there. Obviously, first and foremost, there's bye weeks, so there's 2 fewer games.
Yes.
There are so many questionable players that there aren't a lot of prop bets out there this week at sportsbooks.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find like the computer. I got computer on my head. The quarterback props out there. There, most of those are out there, but like a lot of the rushing and receiving, just because one big player can change how the targets are distributed behind them. So, or vice versa with the running backs if there's a running back out. So, not. There are some games, probably about half the board has, a pretty full board, but a lot of games, it's still, they're still putting them out there. So even like, Tennessee Buffalo doesn't even have any props up. That's of course the Monday night game, pretty limited, there's just a lot of limited props out there. So I put it in my article. I'm going to be checking again Saturday morning. And of course I still do some checks on Sunday morning. So keep coming back to the site, checking out this, they're going to slowly filter them in here as the weekend goes. So I'll add anything that I find here this weekend, but yeah, it's a little bit of a limited board right now.
Yeah. Let's just go right to the shitty London game, Miami and Jacksonville. Tom, I think we both wrote this in our Game Hub, the 2 worst teams in the NFL in terms of point differential.
Yeah, it's ugly right now. Yeah, the Dolphins have been getting slaughtered here since they're, since Tua's been out of the lineup. He'll be back this week, but Jacoby Brissett was not the answer at quarterback. Their defense has been a sieve here, and of course the Jaguars here, 0-5 and getting crushed just about every week outside that Bengals game.
So we're looking at Miami laying 3. Over under 47. How are you looking to bet this one, Tom?
Yeah, this one is trending down here too. I think some 2.5s are going to start to show up here pretty soon. We got some -1
on the Jags.
Yeah,
I think mostly against Miami, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it's. The receiving core is going to be extremely thin here again. Devontae Parker is going to be out. Tua will be back though, and I think he is a bit. I think he's a bit underestimated just how important he is to that team. I mean, Jacoby Brissett was god awful the last couple of weeks. So I'm on the Dolphins side here, on the ATS picks for the site. It was at 3. No way in hell. You couldn't pay me to put a bet down on this. I mean, I have no idea how these teams are going to show up here. They're playing across the pond here, Joe. The whole, Urban Meyer thing still playing out. It's just going to be a matter of which team shows up here. I have a little bit more faith that the Dolphins will show up here. Tua's back. I have a little more trust in Flores here. So, but I don't want any part of betting this game on Sunday morning. This is one just to sit back and watch if you want to, and get up early and have a cup of Joe with it.
Marvin Jones I'm looking at 56.5 receiving yards. He's gone over that in 2 of 5 games, which is actually more than I thought. The Dolphins don't have Xavier Howard, but you ain't convincing me to put a prop bet on Marvin Jones. I can tell you that.
Yeah, this is a game that it looks like the markets they've started putting some more bets up here. I don't think there was really anything out. I start going through these Friday afternoon, and I didn't really see anything here. So I don't really have many takes in terms of player props in this game. I haven't really had a chance to really go through them, but maybe I'd look at Mike Gesicki here. He was more of a Brissett guy though. He hasn't had a ton of success with Tua, but that receiving core is, decimated right now. I mean, Jalen Waddle's kind of hard to trust. His number's at 54.5. So I don't think I'm even going to get down on many player props here either, because I don't want to touch that Dolphins backfield. No idea how they're going to rotate those backs after two completely different rotations in week 4 and week 5 with Malcolm Brown and Myles Gaskins. So
positive plus money over 3.5 catches for Arn Donald.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I mean, his receiving yards is at 36.5 here. I'm seeing 2. Don't know if I'm going to get there, but he has, I think he was about 75% of the snaps last week after, playing a lot more than we thought, just a couple days before that Thursday night game getting traded. So, definitely I'll take a closer look into that one, but nothing really here that's real intriguing here for me.
Chargers and the Ravens. Chargers catching 2.5 in Baltimore, over under a 51. Tom, a potential AFC Championship game preview.
Yeah, we'll see. The Ravens, it's been a little bit shaky here, but Lamar Jackson has certainly responded with a couple big comeback victories here already this season. This line has been just driven down here at the money. Money's on the Baltimore side here once it's gotten under a field goal here. So it looks like it's just going to bounce back and forth, between 2.5 and 3 here. So, if you like the Charger side, I'd wait to see if a 3 pops up. I gave it out at 3.5 on Monday. That was before the Ravens played on Monday night. And then if you want the Ravens side, there's going to be plenty of 2.5s out there. So, the over-under's interesting here. It's sitting at 51. It's kind of in no man's land there. Chargers were an under team before last week, but they got involved in that shootout last week with the Browns, and the Ravens have been playing in some wild games as well here since, they really haven't been able to establish the run very much. So they've been playing in some wild games here. So looks like some pressure towards the over on that game.
Yeah. We do have some props out here, Tom. Now, Mike Williams did not practice all week. He is questionable. Knee swelling that he picked up in last week's game. You're Keenan Allen 75.5. I'll throw this out there when it comes to Keenan Allen. I don't see any there is no Keenan Allen reception prop. Wes and Scott both think this is a blow up spot for Keenan Allen.
Okay. I don't see anything on the DraftKings site as well in terms of receiving and receiving yards, receptions.
I have a Keenan Allen on DraftKings.
Oh, okay. Must have just updated
75.5.
I gave out Lamar Jackson over 231.5 yards. That's actually gone down here. It's sitting at 229.5 is what I'm seeing on there now. So actually a little bit surprised at that, but I'm guessing maybe they think that this is actually a defense that they could actually have some success running the ball against. Latavius Murray's rushing prop, I think, is in the mid 40s when I was looking this afternoon. So, but I did like that over. He's been averaging up over 300 yards per game here. Of course, there were some really negative game scripts in there, including last week when he threw for 400 plus yards against the Colts. But I think they've been kind of skewing towards the pass here a little bit more anyway. And, this is a line that's a total that's up over 50 points. So I think this could be a wild and woolly one here on Sunday. So I kind of like I like that it's dipping down there. I still like that under 230 now. So like Lamar, and I'm waiting for his receiving. I guess they're waiting for official status on.
Well, Bateman is going to play.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what they're waiting for.
He is playing. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what they're waiting for in terms of, the receiving props for the Ravens, though, that nothing's really out there yet.
Minnesota at Carolina. Minnesota laying 2.5 on the road, 45.5 the total. Minnesota traveling to Carolina. I have no Kirk Cousins props.
Yeah, I don't know what they're waiting for with Minnesota.
Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are both good to go.
Yeah, they removed Thielen off the.
I have
both those guys.
no Vikings. I'm showing no Vikings.